Hey guys, Jeremy here with Simple Little Life. I have a new knife sharpening system to show you. This is the Hapstone RS. I'm a huge fan of fixed pivot knife sharpening systems. They work fantastic for most people, but one comment I get all the time is the price point. And these systems are generally quite expensive if you're going for something like this with a robust body, but this one's only $199 US. That's impressive. Now, I was sent this by the CEO of Hapstone himself. Thank you for sending this to me, and he wanted me to just make a review of it. Now, I haven't even used this thing yet. I got it, we got busy with Christmas orders, but those are behind us now. So, let's take a look at this thing. It's very similar to other fixed pivot knife sharpening systems. You've got a fairly sturdy base plate, you've got the tower that comes up, and then these little clamps. Now the interesting thing with these is that you can have them on the end like this, and you can also switch them to the outside for larger blades. One cool thing about this is that this rod mechanism, the pivot, it's actually magnetic. That's kind of neat. Now the main height adjustment happens right here. This is where you do your large adjustments. And then to fine tune from there, this is a little threaded thing that goes up and down. And once you find where you want for your angle, you can lock it in, sharpen away. Now I was given with this set a full set of CBN knife sharpening stones. I've never used CBN before, but these things look very impressive. I've got a super coarse one right here, which would be really great for a brand new edge for those of us that make knives. Incredibly coarse. I don't think I would use this on a brand new blade. 80 grit, 150, 400, 800, 2000, 5000. They even make an 8000 grit, and then 2 leather strops, and they've sent me some 3 micron and 1 micron diamond stropping compound. I don't think I'm going to dive into the strops today. I've never taken anything up to 5000 grit, so I think we might go up to there and see what it looks like. Now, the knife that's in question, well, it's not really in question. This is a Civivi Mini Praxis. This is a good little knife that I picked up while I was in Montana a couple of weeks ago. I've been carrying it every day since, and this is D2 steel. Really like the coating on this blade. One thing I find with pocket knives and opening boxes is the tape residue is pretty nasty. Whatever coating they have on here, it does a great job of resisting that. In fact, I've never cleaned this knife before. And you can see just how nice that is. This thing is fairly sharp. Let's grab a piece of paper real quick. These were from a calendar I got for Christmas 2 years ago, and it's like a word a day calendar, so plethora is gonna be the word that we're gonna cut up.
A bodily condition characterized by an excess of blood and marked by turgescence or florid complexion, or absence or profusion.
Plethora. It's not that dull. It's not that dull at all. But I really don't have many dull knives. Neither should you. Keeping these fairly nice and tight for a smaller blade. This is under 3-inch blade, and slap it in here like this. They give you this nice screwdriver, which I really like. And we want to hit a flat spot to get a grip on there, just like so. And there we go. Now this does have the spring-loaded rotating device, which is really handy. I like that. And they also give you a spot to level it here. They gave me a nice little digital level. We will zero this out. Assembly of this thing is really quite simple, not that hard at all. And then I like this because it also has a nice flat spot for the magnet to go, so you can see exactly, well, if I turn this around, then I can see exactly, like, that's 17 degrees. Now, I'm going to use a little trick of putting a Sharpie mark on that secondary bevel and just lightly going over it so I can see if I'm matching it. If you're taking off too much to the edge, you have to bring it down a little bit. If you're not taking too much off, it's kind of up near the top, then you raise it up, and once you can just take one quick stroke and it takes away all the Sharpie, that's how you match an existing bevel fairly closely. Using the light to my advantage, I just want to put a little bit of a marker on there. And then, let's just see, I have no clue where we're at. I think we need to go up. There we go. That's nice. So that says it's 18.6 degrees. I'm just going to try some of this like we've always done with these knife sharpeners. kind of want to go until you feel a burr being made. I don't feel it yet. Oh, that red marker looks like I've got blood on my hands. Kind of freaked me out. It happens sometimes when you're sharpening knives. Want to flipperoo, do a little bit on the other side. So far, it feels solid enough. It's not a super heavy sharpening system, but I always kind of like to hold them anyways. So with your hand on here, like just like this, actually, it stays just fine. But usually when I'm sharpening, I like to keep this hand here. I think it's a really nice balance between beefiness and not being too bulky and obnoxious. I mean, ultimately, it's nice not to give up like so much shelf space or workbench space just for a knife sharpener. So I think they've done a great job at sizing this thing. Ooh yeah, it's feeling pretty good. Do a little bit more. It's fairly rigid, like I'm not feeling any flex in the blade, which is really nice. I used to be terrified of sharpening a knife for the first time because I was never good at it. But with these fixed pivot knife sharpeners, they essentially remove human error. And they just make getting a really nice sharp edge very accessible. You don't have to think too much. You get it set up properly. Do even strokes on each side, and you're pretty much good to go. And then if you use the lighting, right now I've got some pretty interesting lighting hitting this bevel, and so I can actually see the scratch pattern changing. And that'll just help you remove only the required amount of material to get through that scratch layer and not go too much farther before proceeding to the next stone. Ultimately, sharpening a knife is taking that blade away. So the more you sharpen it, if you excessively sharpen it beyond that which it needs, your knife is going to be gone sooner. So I was trying to only sharpen it as much as I absolutely have to. Now this obviously is a kind of a high level review or look at the sharpener. I don't have fancy cameras like Outdoor 55 does, so I can't put this under like microscopic vision, but this will give you an idea. One other interesting thing about this is that this whole thing just rides in this shaft, so it's actually kind of nice. I kind of like that idea. It keeps this whole thing a little more compact, and then if you overshoot, it does come out this side, but I felt it touch my fingers once or twice, but it's not like it's like getting me because I'm working within the confines of the sharpener. Ooh, yeah, that's a big difference right there. Very nice little burr. As you get through the finer grits, I find usually you're not spending as much time on them because every time the scratch pattern is getting a little finer, a little finer, a little finer, you're kind of like just refining the surface finish. Honestly, I would say right there was probably about the finish that this knife came with. I could see the grind lines in the secondary bevel when I got it. I like using this thing actually. Oh yeah, that's nice. Got a real nice little burr along the whole thing. But you know what? Just because that's about where it was when I bought it doesn't mean we can't go further. Knife sharpening is wildly satisfying. Now, just to be crazy, let's go to 5,000. Crazy. That is putting a really nice polish on that edge. Ooh, that's sharp. That feels almost razor-like. That is a nice edge. That's sharp. That's really sharp. Okay, I said I wasn't going to get out these strops, but I think I'm going to. So I need to just make sure I keep track of which one I end up using. The 3 micron, which is the mildly coarser diamond paste. Handy having a knife. So let me write on the back 3 for 3 micron. And then 1. 3 micron diamond paste. Whoa, got me. What the? Wasn't expecting that. Might not be the best idea to use your finger to rub it in, but oh well. Okay, now we gotta let that dry for a bit. Yeah, making a mess. That's weird stuff. It's almost like clay. I've never used micron diamond paste compounds, which apparently this is the best way to do for stropping. Interesting. Now that was the 1 micron, so we're going to start with the 3, which should be dry by now. And it is. And then I'm also going to just wipe the blade off because I don't really want any of this stuff getting into the strop. Okay, let's see how this goes. Obviously we're just using pull strokes. I want to chew up this leather. Oh my word! That mirror is insane. Here's what a strop looks like. Wow. That is crazy. You can just see the surface finish change. The tip always makes me nervous because I don't want to scratch the strop. That is really amazing, actually. Now I wonder why I've never used diamond paste before. Because that is incredible. I don't even think you should look right at that edge. My camera automatically stopped. Oh, so did this one. Okay, that is officially incredible. That is really cool. Now let's do the 1 micron. Don't know if it's necessary to wipe it down in between, but it probably wouldn't hurt. Wow. Even the difference from the 3 micron to the 1 micron, you can actually feel it. Well, I know one thing's for sure. I'm going to start using diamond paste from now on. That's insane. I'm gonna grab this camera and I'm gonna show you the mirror on this. If this camera will let me pick it up. You see the quality of that edge? See if you can get the right light. Look at that. All right, let's see. Wow. That is noticeably slicier. Oh, this word here is macadam, a roadway or pavement of small, closely packed broken stone. Macadam. You know, it wasn't cutting bad before, but it is cutting better now. It feels different. I don't know if you can hear it in the sound, but it feels different. It's not that dull. Wow. That is a slicey knife. Look at that little curl I just pulled off. That's crazy. Wow. Sweet. Well, I tell you what, I'm actually very impressed with this. I'm really excited that somebody has come to the market with a high quality fixed pivot knife sharpening system that locks the blade in, that has the detent. This is adjustable too for how much tension you want. You can loosen it off to make it easier, tighten it up. Like, this is just a really, really efficient system for sharpening knives. And for $199 for this base unit right here. They do have more expensive ones. They have, I don't know if they have less expensive ones or not. But $199 for this. That's impressive. If you had this knife sharpener and 3 stones, you would definitely be set to do excellent maintenance on your blades. And again, if you have any questions at all, please let me know in the comment section. I would love to help you out. Make an informed decision if this is something that is for you. I've done a lot of fixed pivot knife sharpener not comparisons, but reviews. And this one really, really impresses me. The assembly was easy. It came like this was all together. You just had to bolt a couple things together, and it's a gem to use. Large kitchen knives, you could do bigger knives. You'd do that by taking these little fingers and giving the old flip turn. Like this. Machining, fit and finish, absolutely fantastic. Can't complain about that in any way, shape, or form. Okay, and it's nice, it still has clearance here. This is all the way extended on this particular model. I'll show you this clamping distance. How long is this going to take? If we go from the very outside to the very outside, we're at almost 6 3/4 inches. So that's not bad. And then it can go right down to teeny tiny. But overall, I'm really impressed with this knife sharpening system. And again, having a system like this on the market that gives other systems a real run for their money at a much lower price point, I kind of feel like this is what this industry needs. Decent quality fixed pivot knife sharpeners have always been on the pricier side. To me, this is a very good value, and I'm really stoked. I'm going to continue using this, and I have some of my other knife sharpeners. There's some that I gravitate towards more often, but I'm going to go ahead and use this one for about 10 blades, and that'll give me a real sense of what I really think about it, what I really like about it. My first overall impressions, absolutely fantastic. If you'd be interested in a follow-up video, let me know down in the comment sections. Maybe I could address some questions that you have about this, but overall, I'm really impressed, and thank you, Hapstone, for sending this to me. I hope this helps you guys. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day. Cheers. I like that. Wow. Oh man, that is nice. That is much sharper than it was. Wow. I dig it. I really dig it.